Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's Barbarici from the Bronx. How's everybody doing? It's very late, very late at night, and I'm going to sleep, and I will see everybody tomorrow morning. I need to get some rest. I am absolutely exhausted, but before I do that, I want to show you guys my artwork that I did tonight, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story. So bear with me. Yes, I'm utterly exhausted. I'm sure you could see I got bags for days. Bags for days. Hold on a second. So this is my artwork, everybody. I did this tonight, and I did this within a couple of minutes, like 15 minutes. Not even. I draw very fast. And I want to show you guys some the other things that I was doing. Remember, I was drawing my son. I have to fix the eye though. You know, I was holding the, I don't have any erasers. I need to buy some supplies here, but I will indeed fix his eye. You know, I don't want to leave my son looking like that. But I did a pretty good job of holding the phone and being half awake, you know. Jesse. So, let me finish this. Ow, my toe is killing me. So I'm gonna shave this in. I'm gonna use this. And this is what I'm doing. I'm drawing a ribbon. This is gonna be like the sun setting with like a ribbon going around it. And I'm gonna talk about some things. Remember, it doesn't matter. Whatever goes on, you are all warriors. You don't need to have anybody defy you. Okay? Your experience, nobody can take away your experiences. Okay? And if anybody uses your story and you don't get the justice you deserve, don't worry. Everything will be brought to light. Okay? So if you are a survivor of the streets and you got clean and sober and you doing the right thing, and people want to use you when you're in, you know, in the streets and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and then when you clean yourself up, they don't want to open their mouth about it to people that are concerned, because I'm not the only one that happened to. Believe me, there are plenty of people that have been through what I've been through, have been, you know, exploited like that. Okay? And I must say that Tom Reed is probably the only one that hasn't done that to people. Okay? He's the only one that I know of that hasn't done that. Okay? Even that guy, Mark, you know, I don't know. It seems like I haven't seen him post any kind of recovery stories, recovering addicts or anything. I'm sure someone in there had to have some kind of recovery. Somebody in there had to have made it out. You know, it's like they get off on the tragedy of it all. What about the people who made it out? You gotta give them some props. And Tom has been doing that. And I'm so grateful. He said he's gonna help me. I was very grateful for that. And, you know, I appreciate it because Tom didn't interview me. So he doesn't owe me nothing. Just for him saying because he knows. He knows my story is true. I'm sure he's seen the footage he has and, you know, probably checked it out to see if I'm, you know, everything's, you know, probably validated everything. And that's great. And I don't mind that at all because, you know, you're going to help someone. People can claim to the cows come home. The cats come home. The dogs come home. And everything else under the sun comes home that they have been through this, that, and the third. You know, but until you show proof of validation, you know, I could have been saying all that stuff, but thank God there's footage of me that I didn't even know about. Thank God, you know, Chris took those pictures of me, you know, and those were years spread apart. And I was still there. So there's, and then like I said, anybody wants to look up, you know, my synopsis, that's fine with me. I don't mind at all. As a matter of fact, I'd encourage it because if anybody does want to look up my arrest history and send me, you know, whatever information you got on it, I would be greatly appreciative and reward you very nicely. I really would. So if anybody feels, not obligated, but if anybody feels compelled to do that, I would really greatly appreciate it. I really, really would. And I've said this before. So, now, I'm going to talk about the first time I've ever been, I'm going to call this video the first attack. Because it's going to be about the first time I was attacked in Hunts Point. Well, it wasn't in the Bronx, rather. It wasn't in Hunts Point. It was on 169 of Washington in the Morrison Housing Projects. That was the first time I was ever attacked. Okay, and the story was this. It was about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was looking for, I don't need to get into that, but I was looking to score, let's put it that way. So these 3 young boys comes up to me, 3 young thugs, and they say, "Hey, Ma, what you looking for? We got what you need. We got what you need." And me being ignorant to the streets at that point in time, because I was I was street smart, but not street smart as in to know not to follow 3 random people in a building without knowing who they are late at night in a project building. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, so yeah, I followed them ignorantly. We get all the way to the top of the stairs, where the door to the roofs are. The alarm didn't go off because a lot of times they disable that alarm so homeless people could sleep on, in the stairwells and whatnot. I was one of them, not in that building, but in many others. And so the alarm didn't go off. So I turn around, and one of them grabs me from behind, puts an arm around my neck, and puts me out. I just remember a pressure, and the next thing I know, I'm tumbling down about 4 or 5 flights of stairs. Now, as I'm tumbling down, I'm out, but I'm conscious at the same time. I know that sounds strange, but I knew I was falling, but I didn't know. It seemed like I was dreaming, and I seen a big, bright, white light, and I seen Jesus coming in a cloud. I'm telling you the truth. I really seen this. And it seemed so long. It seemed like it was suspended animation. Like, it seemed like it was taken forever, but it happened so fast. So, as I'm tumbling down the stairs, like I said, I urinated on myself. When I woke up, after I seen the light and Jesus and everything, it was beautiful. It was. I'm not going to lie. It was an experience I will never forget, okay? It was a tragic thing, but at the same time, it was like, a beautiful thing. It was like a beautiful nightmare, if you can understand where I'm coming from. And when I woke up, there was urinal, I urinated on myself, and they were nowhere to be found. They were nowhere around, and all I did was shake it off like it wasn't nothing, because that's what drugs do to you. When you are on drugs like that, and you're living in the street, and you're hustling out there, even though that was the first time, I was a bit shook up, but I just shook it off. I'm telling you the truth. I didn't cry. I wasn't, I was in shock. I think because I was in shock, I probably didn't cry, because, the first time you attack like that, it's traumatizing. I've been through traumatizing things, but not like that. I was never attacked by anybody before like that. So how do you like the rhythm, guys? Looks cool, right? So, as I'm walking out the building, this older woman comes up to me, and she probably was like a good 15, 20 years older than me, easy. She was well in her ages. I was like, let me see, I was like maybe 23 years old. That was like probably 2002, that was like 22, 23 when that happened. She was probably like 38 or something like that, maybe even older. I don't know. She looked very old. Maybe she was worn out, but she was kind to me, and she said to me, "I know what those boys did to you." Now, mind you, when these boys came out to me, it was late at night, and there wasn't anybody that I seen around. Now, she might have been looking out her window, I don't know, or a window, I don't know, but she said, "I know what those boys did to you. I know their mother." I guess they were brothers or whatnot. She said, I'm going to tell their mother what they did to you. They're not going to get away with it. Something to that effect. She's like, you know what? Come with me. So, again, ignorantly but trustingly, I follow her. She takes me into another building and she offers, she treats me to a couple of, hits and whatnot. And I'm just telling you, I don't really like to talk about my drug use, but I'm just telling you what happened in the past. Thank God I'm clean and sober from those substances, but this is when I was in my full addiction. So, she gives me a couple of pulls, we're smoking, we're joking around, we're talking. She's like, you know what, I like you. She's like, I want to help you, come with me. And I follow her again, and she could be leading me to my demise for all I know, but something inside of me trusted her. And it was a nice thing that she did. She took me to a boarding house, a rooming house. And in this rooming house, I seen a couple of people that I knew from Hunts Point. A girl named Tara, that was her name. She used her actual name. That is my first real name, but I used my middle name, Vanessa. Or they called me either Vanessa, V, or Snow Bunny. Those were the names I was known for. Okay, now, she takes me in this place. Like I said, it was like, it was a house where people used and whatnot, but it was a boarding home, and it seemed like, it was pretty quiet, pretty decent for the activities that were going on in the house. It was like a very old type style house with a lot of rooms and stuff. So she takes me around the staircase. It was like a winding staircase, but it's like square shaped. It's like, the spiral staircase, but it was like square shaped instead. So she takes me to the top floor, and she opens, this room with a key, and it's a room with a bed, a refrigerator, and there's a bathroom next to it, not in the room, but adjacent to the room itself. When you come out in the hallway, there's a bathroom. She's like, you know what? She's like, I really like you. She's like, you know what I'm going to do? She's like, I'm going to hook you up. She's like, here's the key to this room. Anytime you need to crash, you need to shower, you need to get away from the street, she's like, here's the key. And I lied to you not. And we talked for a little while longer. I was thanking her up and down the wazoo, because at that point, I had just broken up with the Jewish guy. Yeah, so this had to be around the end of 03, because I got rid of him at that point in time, because, he was married to a Nassau County cop and all that. So, yeah, that was not working out at all for the situation I was in. So, like I said, she gives me the key, and we're talking, and then she leaves eventually, and I stayed in the room. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman just gave me a roof over my head. I was like, it was like, I went through all that with those boys, and here it is, this woman I didn't even know, this older lady, gives me free drugs at the time, and then gives me a free place to live. It just seemed too good to be true, but it really did happen. And I was just very grateful. But the strange thing about it was, when I opened the refrigerator, there was this, you ever see like a weird movie where they open the refrigerator, it's like another dimension? And I lied to you guys not. When I opened that refrigerator, there was this weird fuzzy substance. It was like, I guess, an old moldy piece of food, but there was something very weird about it. It was like moving, and it could have been just the fan of the refrigerator blowing on the fuzz of the mold, but it just, when I looked at it, I got really creeped out. I don't know why. I was like, oh my God. I was so grateful, believe me, but it was just something very eerie about it. I can't explain it. It just seemed like something out of this world. I don't know. I know that's going to sound bizarre, but that's just how I felt at the time. So, but I still was grateful, and I was definitely going to come back. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. I have a place to crash, a place to bring Johns, a place to do my thing. And it just seemed too good to be true. And it did turn out to be too good to be true. Not the part that she gave me the room. It's not like she took it back or anything. But what happened was, I was from, Hunts Point at that time. I was getting used to the streets there. I knew all the was over there. What was I doing? 169 in Washington. I think what happened was I had a date, and from what I remember, I had left there and thought I was going to find my way back and going to score in that area because I had it. That's, prior to Hunts Point, that was the spot that I used to cop from. So, but it turned out to be something bad happening to me. But when I tried to find my way back to Hunts Point, which I did eventually, it took a while. Like, I had no idea where I was going. And I did find my way back. But then after a couple of days, I was like, you know what? Let me go back to that room. But I never found it. I had no idea. I didn't look at the street, which I should have. That's what drugs do. You just don't think straight. And I didn't bother to look at the name of the street. I didn't bother to see where I was. And I never found it again, guys. But I tell you, that woman, as many times as I got locked up, I wound up running into her in jail. And I said to her, I was like, oh my God, Misty, we were in medical. Because, anybody who's been locked up, about medical. You got to go to medical for certain things sometimes. And I said to her, Miss, do you remember me? I was like, you gave me the key to your room. You helped me when those boys attacked me. Like, you were there for me. You were kind to me. And you actually, gave me the key to your boarding room, your getaway room. And she looked at me, and it was her, because I am very good. You can ask Tito. I am extremely good with facial recognition. When I can know someone just from their silhouette. I don't even need to see anything else but a silhouette, and I will tell you who that person is. I am extremely good at that, and it was her. But I don't know if she became, because this was maybe, I think that was the time I got locked up when I was pregnant. I'm pretty much sure, and I had to go to medical to get my sonogram. Mind you, they will not tell you the sex of your baby. If you get locked up pregnant, they will not tell you because they're afraid the person might do something, because some people are like that. They find out they're having a certain sex and they wind up hurting themselves. But yeah, I was in medical and I seen her, and she just did not remember any. She seemed like she was in another world. Maybe she had dementia, the poor thing. But I looked at her, I was like, this woman has no idea how much she helped me. This woman was so kind to me when I went through my first traumatic experience in the street. And I will never forget it. I will never forget tumbling down those stairs. I will never forget the feeling of those boys, one of their arms being wrapped around my neck like that, and, squeezing it so hard that I guess they knew how to put someone out. I've seen it done in movies, but guys, I tell you, I never seen it done in person. And to have it done to me, as I'm saying, having it done to yourself from another person, it is really a very strange feeling. It just seems like, someone could get killed like that. And I'm lucky that I didn't die, because they cut what it is they cut your blood and oxygen to your brain. That's what it is. They're actually pressing on your jugular, I believe, or your carotid artery. And I look, I'm speculating right now, but God gives me intuition and knowledge and discernment and wisdom, and I'm believing that is what happens. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, you can tell me in the comment section what part of the throat that they're pressing on, but I'm pretty much sure that's what it is. But I do know they're cutting off oxygen and blood to your brain, and that's what puts you out. But it was just the weirdest thing. I had no idea, because I was not familiar with this life at that point. I was very new. But mind you, if that would have been years later, oh no, I definitely would have not have followed, unless I knew who they were. I would have never followed them up those stairs. No way, no how. I would have never done it. Look at Tito Love and Weedy B. So guys, I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do with this is tomorrow, I'm going to go to bed now. I'm very tired. But I just want you guys to know that no matter what happens, if I have advocacy or not, I do not change. I'm always the same. And it does not defy me being a survivor or a street warrior or my sobriety or being a good mom or a good wife or a person who takes care of my home. None of that. If I get if I get support or not from outside resources that are going to help me, it will not change me. And like I said, Tom Reed is the only person I know who has not taken people's stories and not shown people that have on the other side of the fence, that have, came out of it and changed themselves for the better. Look at Tassie. I mean, he gives her props all the time. I mean, and that other young lady that he's helping right now, and Jana, and other people. I believe that's her name. But I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful night. And I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning, okay? God bless you. Jesus loves you. And remember, walk by faith and not by sight, okay? Ciao, Bellas. I gotta fix your eye, my son. Love you guys. Ciao.